Hey guys, this is Melissa Zad for Into Boxing, and I am delighted to be joined by the man himself, Mr. Dean Whyte. Firstly, happy birthday for yesterday.
Come on, the big one yesterday. But you know what, I was busy working, very, very busy yesterday. I managed to go out and have a couple of drinks and some food with my friends last night, very late. But we got the big show, Brick Pump Bricks, Saturday night. Lock in, the stream's going to be mad. The night's going to be crazy, it's going to be jam-packed. So yeah, man, we're raring, man. Yesterday was super busy, man. It was a different birthday. I've never had to enjoy that on my birthday before, you know? In a van, driving up and down the M25 on some derelict farm, because we got some units. So he's on some farm. I was getting stung by stinging nettles. That was nice.
But obviously, you know, tomorrow night's big show is going to be sort of your birthday celebration.
Absolutely. So we're going to be celebrating the building of the fighters, which is the foremost and the key, because they're going to be progressing, and I will celebrate what I love doing, having a nice drink and celebrating watching good boxing and good entertainment. And I'm just raring tomorrow to get the night done and over with and moving on to what we've got next, November the 5th. But tomorrow we've got a stacked card, 11 fights on the card, and I'm just raring to get there, getting me clever, and like you say, you know, let me hair down a little bit, because I know all the hard work's been done.
I like that, getting your clobber. It's very good, Dean. Talk to me about November 5th.
Yes, we're going to have another show. It's booked in. Next year we got so much shows next year. I do need to notify you by them as well. But yeah, so we're just going to try and go from strength to strength, build it, and then if we obviously get the TV platform, it's going to be great. So then we all just go up and rise and just win that way. That's what I'm going to do. The juggernaut, like Joe Joyce, and steamroll everything until they have to come and say, well, yeah, we've noticed you guys have been quite busy. You know what I mean? So that's what the plan is, you know what I mean?
It's interesting because obviously you haven't had a show for a few months. Obviously there was Dillian Whyte's fight that was taking place. You were busy with that, of course. Now your next show is obviously tomorrow, which is September 3rd, and then you've got one November 5th. So that's really a 2-month turnaround. Is that a pace that you're trying? Is that a pace that you're really trying to progress at?
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing stuff. I'm signing a lot more fighters anyway, so we're going to have more shows because everyone can't get on at the same time. So I signed another heavyweight a couple of days ago. So yeah, we will announce him in a couple of weeks. He's a madman. He's raring to go. I nearly matched him to fight Fraser Clark. Actually, he's that kind of nut job. I think he's 2-0, either 2-0 2 KOs or 2-0 1 KO. But he's good. He can have a real tear up.
What's his name?
Ben Vickers, the butcher.
Oh, you signed Ben Vickers. Okay, yeah, I do know about Ben. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, Ben, I just signed Ben, so it's a good little thing. Ben's doing these things. I need to get Ben in the right mindset, because sometimes his mindset runs. But yeah, we've got Ben, and we've signed Bilal Mohib as well. So we'll announce that as well shortly. He's like, I think, multiple ABA winner, champion, GB squad. Won multiple national stuff. I think he's 14-1. We're making steps. We're signing loads of guys. So we mean business. I am not playing around. It's all personal. I'm coming for everything. I'm not interested.
I love that.
You guys upset me, man.
Why do they upset you?
Because I'm angry. You know, they didn't see my pedigree. I don't know what they thought, man. But listen, I'm a very serious man when it comes to business, and I got a passion and a zest for what I do anyway. I'm quite a person who wants to always make things the best they can be. I like to dress, you know, like not every day I dress up, but when I do dress, you notice when I dress, because it's a standard. And it's the same with the show. Tomorrow night, the production in that show tomorrow is going to be another level again. So we put some work in. As long as everything works out logistically with the guys putting it all together, but we've got something going to be. It's going to look really good tomorrow. And they're going to be like, this guy's something else. Because trust me, no small promoters doing what man's doing. We're blowing the roof off. We're not here to participate. We're here to take over. We're not what's it called, level pegging with anyone. I'm not disrespecting anyone, but we're not. We're just in a whole league of our own, doing what we're doing and making our own lane and just making waves. If, like I said, if you're for me, I'm for you, and we just all roll together, and I want a big old happy party, and we all win. And I'm not trying to leave anyone behind. I'm trying to roll. You know what I mean? But there's people that don't want to see myself and people from certain demographics win. So we got to force the doors open and show them equally we are just as good, if not better, at doing what you guys are doing. Yeah, just saying.
Do you know what? I love that, because I feel like that philosophy and that ethos of yours, it starts, with the boxing itself being at a grassroots level, but you've actually carried it across to the whole production, the whole event, and that's a really amazing thing.
We cutting no costs. It costs a lot of money to do what we're doing, and like I said, if we lose, we lose, but we're in a good position. We're not in that right now. So right now, the aim is to give these guys the best platform to box on as possible. So when they do go over to a Sky or a DAZN or a Match or whatever, they've been at a decent level platform, a Warrens or whatever. They've had big fans, they've had the screens, they've had this monitor, that, and you've been in front of a few thousand people. So it's not always you get that at York Hall with some of the shows, you know what I mean? The levels are kind of, you know what I mean? But I understand this, it is hard. Listen, the business is getting harder. The board are putting the prices up on a lot of things. So cost is hard for boxers. Not a lot of money in boxing. It's all passion until you get to a certain level. But I mean, look, we all got a love of the sport, love it or hate it. The business side's a bit techie, but I love the sport and love the game. I'm going to put everything I can in to be a power and a force in doing what I'm doing. And like I said, my black box team will be rolling, because it's not about leaving anyone behind. Like I said, if you're rolling, we're getting busy, we get to the money, we all get to the money, and we live and have a good time.
So obviously, tomorrow night it looks like a really great card. What are some of the fights that you're really looking forward to on the card, and who is the main event?
Do you know what? I've made a running order, but it's probably going to change. I'm not sure who's the main event. I've signed Bilal Faraz a few weeks ago, multi-decorated, 2-0, 2 kills. That's it, I've heard a lot of talk about Bilal for a long time, through the grapevine of people and just talking about what he's done as an amateur and him being how skillful and strong he is. So it's good that now, I managed to sign him, and I want to see him in action for myself. So it's going to be intriguing to have, to witness that myself. So that's going to be a first. IP Porter's going to be good, 2-0, 2 KOs heavyweight. Let's see how he progresses. We've got John Harding Jr. as well. He's going to get some rounds in and do his thing. John's a steady pedigree. He's got a lot of experience. He's just waiting for his moment. We've been trying to get the IBO title for him for a while, but we've been having some complication on the board. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes on the next one. We're not going to stop. We're going to continue to try and keep trying and matching the people. So he'll go out there and do what he does, and get a win and hopefully do his thing. Usyk Ibrahim, good talent. I heard you saying he speaks well. He looks like someone who comes across well on the cameras. Yeah, and he does his thing. We've got Alfie Clegg, Classy Clegg, Luke Pearson, decent, humble kid. And Malik, very talented IQ boxer, my brother as well. So yeah, come on Malik, big up them, man. He got a crazy knockout in his debut, so hopefully he does it again. But no more balling in the ring, big man. I don't want that on my black box show, fam. No more crying.
Well, that was happy tears.
Huh?
Those were happy tears.
I know, he's my dog, man. I was just winding him up. But look, we've got, listen, I'm not going to lie, we have got a good card with these. Aaron Prospero is always in great, exciting fights. He comes and brings it. He can punch, he can box, and he's always in the tear-up. So I think the card is going to be a real good card, and maybe when you had a few drinks, it's even better.
I mean, that's the plan. So, Dean, what I'd really like to do, now that we've kind of ticked off the show for tomorrow night, I'd really like to pick your brain a little bit about the heavyweight scene at the moment. Mm-hmm. So obviously we had the Joshua Usyk rematch that took place. There was quite a lot of, conversation around Joshua's his second defeat to Usyk, and then also his response to his defeat. What are your thoughts around that?
So, respect to Joshua first and foremost, Carl. He's done a lot for British boxing and world boxing, and him coming along, being the little icon he's become and doing what he's done. He's brought the country along and different people into the sport, into the game. Dillian's played his part as well. Let's not get that confused, Derek. But obviously it was a roll-on effect with him and so on. For me, and I've said it a long time before, the pedigree Usyk has got, you can't buy that pedigree. 350, 360 amateur fights, won everything. Joshua's had under 50 amateur fights. I know he won both Olympic golds, both of them. And then he's had 20 fights. He's undefeated. So he's had about, say, 380 fights. Joshua's had probably let's call it, maybe 70 or less. So when you look at that, he's not meant to be in that, in that plague area to be saying you're meant to be challenging for these pedigree of opponents and guys and so, and he's done exceptionally well. I feel like I would have liked him to let his hands go a little bit more. I felt like he was a little bit hesitant. He kept stepping out when there was moments where, when he went right to the body, he could have came out with a left hook and then Rogan stepped out or even pushed. And really what frustrated me was how I think Usyk hoodwinked the judge, or not the judge, the ref, with the low shot, because that wasn't a low shot as far as I'm concerned. I think Joshua should have jumped on him when he punched him I thought it was a great shot. I don't think it was low, don't think it was in the balls. I think you played to the ref didn't say anything. Usyk looked at the ref to say, oh, low shot. That is not Joshua's business. You know, we need to see that hunger where when you hit someone, the killer instinct comes out, you go for that kind of kill. And I think that's what he should have been doing. But, you know, that's not how he boxes. He likes to step off, keep his distance, and jab and use right, which is cool. The second thing is fighting a southpaw is a whole different kettle of fish, as everyone knows. He had great foot positioning, which was good. I liked when Usyk turned and pivoted, he turned and pivoted, which was he should have been doing from the first fight, because then he couldn't come around the side and clock him with shot. So he was doing really good. He made great adjustments, that's what I should say. But I just felt like the handwork, there wasn't enough, because Usyk was rallying some shots. It might have been hitting gloves and arms, but some of them was getting through. And sometimes what he done great, what a lot of great fighters do, they close the rounds well. So he started good, he took off the middle, and he closed the rounds exceptionally well at the end, 15 seconds. Not a lot of guys understand this process in boxing and being smart how to nick the fight. Joshua was winning rounds, and because Usyk nicked them in those dying seconds, those rounds went to him. You can't finish the round getting 20-punch combination and think you won the round. It's not gonna. What's in the judge's mind is, whoa, he nearly looked like he's about to get stopped. You know what I mean? So.
A bit like Joshua Buatsi and Craig Richards. You know, Joshua Buatsi was using a very similar tactic.
Done exactly the same. But you see, when you've got good IQ and even through tiredness and good pedigree, when you're tired, these are things you're able to try and do. I try and get that into my fighters, but they, like you said, they need experience and that pedigree, which they don't have. But what I do is I try and be that voice to let them understand there's ways to box. The key for it is just boxing. The basic fundamentals is good distance control, good jab, good right hand, tied up with certain other things, and understanding your defense. The other stuff come into it when you start to think and download data when you're in there and setting a strategy in the ring to either win or break the person down later. Because everyone comes up with the same energy early. Everyone's got that desire and purpose to win 1 round and 2 or whatever. After 6, after 5, people lose their shape and they start to get tired. So I always try and break that into them. But sometimes it doesn't download because they don't have that kind of pedigree, or they've not boxed long enough to understand it. So it's a bit strange, I'm going on, but what I'm saying is pedigree is key, or if you've got a good coach that can break things down to you. And I tell you what Joshua needs. He needs a strong team in his corner to tell him things when the chips are down. Motherfucker, the chips are down. You go out there, you need to get working. You've lost that round. They need to stop telling people they're winning rounds, because that doesn't help a fighter win. Your corner's telling you you're winning rounds. Oh, am I winning rounds? Yes, I'm winning rounds. Then you're going to start taking a back seat. Motherfucker, you losing. Get busy. Yeah, not get busy meaning go out there and throw the kitchen sink, because if you do that, you can walk onto a shop. Educated pressure. Keep that, like I said, in spurts. Strong, middle, ending. Always end well. Always try and end the 10 seconds well and strong, and it will stay in the judge's mind. But yeah, I think it's key factors in boxing. But I mean, that thing with the corner, man, Josh, man, I'm going to chat to you soon, I'm going to link you. You need some hardcore man in the corner to tell you the right things. Because believe me, the corner work is key. The corner work is key to give you the right instruction. You know that saying, oh, you're winning, you're nicking rounds. You need to be as brutally honest to your fighter as possible and give them that information, because it's for their health, it's for their benefit, and it's for their future to give them, it was a close round. I think you nicked it, but we're not sure. But let's say it was in the bank. But I tell you what, close the round out this way, or do this in this round to kind of nick this round to level it out. When you're over a certain round, I think, like in the Isaac fight, I think his corner told him pretty late. John Pegg said, you need a knockout, you got to go for it. But his corner should have told him, stop engaging, back up, use your boxing skill, circle. He's too big, he's too strong, let's take a little bit of wind out of himself. You know what I mean? But listen, different strokes for different folks. But, man, shit, they need to come down here to Miguel's the talent, and I'll give them the whole game. But you got to pay me, man. I got that game. You don't need to go to America, you hear me?
I'm glad that you mentioned the team and the corner, because that was going to be my next question to you. Do you feel like they let him down, which clearly by what you said they do? But what I'm really interested to know is, do you feel like Fraser Clarke's comments about how his team let him down when he was having his emotional reaction to the loss Do you think that's fair, or do you think that in that moment the best thing to do is just to let him do his thing?
Do you know what? I don't want to go too much into it. There's a lot of emotions in boxing. You know, when you say certain, people get emotional and certain things. I understand it, but check this. I like Angel. Angel's a good guy. Who was in the corner? The Garcia, or whatever his name was.
Yeah, you know, but you know, when they were in the ring, you know, Benga was in the ring. I didn't actually see Angel or Robert Garcia, but he had the people that are usually around him there.
Let me give you an example. AJ's a big, strong man. He's got a strong person and strong character. Benga is, yes, his cousin, because he called for Benga, yes. But none. Let me get the word. None of these motherfuckers want to cross Joshua. They're not going to get involved. They're not going to get and be on the wrong side of him. And guess what? They're in the ring now. And guess what? When you see them, they're in their house. They're in the bar watching this fight. They're not going to get involved in a situation which is going to affect them if you get So, you know, them stopping him talking and saying, I'll be quiet, he'd probably end up flipping on him because there's a lot of emotion. And I understand his position because he had the world on his shoulder. And I feel like he put everything into that fight. And it was always a matter of time. When the kettle boils over, it goes, and it starts to overflow. It was one of those situations that Joshua was in where it was a lot and it manifested. They've made him kind of be the darling of boxing. Maybe he didn't ask for that mantle. He maybe didn't want that mantle, but he got that pressure, had to live up to that mantle and had to keep himself humble, to stay humble monarch. Sometimes you gotta let it out, man, and live and breathe. After that, I know he probably fucking felt amazing, but then he probably thought, oh shit, motherfucker. Yeah, that's me, buddy. But look, love him or hate him, man. People can say what they want. The man has done great. Big up to that man. Let your voice out, let your voice be heard, and do your thing. But look, he's let it out now. You come back to the table, you come back and regroup and box. It is what it is. People, listen, this is not ballerina dancing boxing, you know. You know, like most guys went back in the day, it was like an underworld criminal element. A lot of bad guys got into boxing. Now we're doing prim and proper. Everyone needs to speak like the queen, and you can't say anything. You get fined by the ball. It's absurd. Let people live, man. Let people live. Anyway,
so I have kept you talking about Joshua for a long time, but I do have some questions that I need to ask you about the heavyweight scene. But a lot of people have been talking about Dillian Whyte versus Anthony Joshua. You know, a lot of the British public want to see that fight. Do you want to see it?
Hell yeah, I want to see that.
Will Dillian be interested in that fight?
Hell yeah, Dillian wants to fight, and any loss he's had, he wants to avenge and he wants to seek redemption. So, you know, it's definitely a fight that he wants, so it's all good. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to the British public. I think it will sell out a stadium somewhere, and it's good. Both guys are coming off defeat, so, you know, Dillian will have a fight before, Joshua will have a fight before, and next year in the summer or in the spring sometime, we'll have an outdoor stadium fight, great sellout. It's going to be showbiz. Someone's going to sleep.
Rumours about Dillian fighting before the end of the year in London.
Potentially Dubois, they're talking, so yeah, that's the same whispers that's going around until it's confirmed. You know, we just got to wait and see.
Joseph Parker and Joe Joyce facing each other. Who do you think comes out the winner of that fight?
I like both boys, so I'm not really going to predict anything, but I know it's going to be a hard fight. You've got someone who's more silky, smooth, durable, got a good chin. Sometimes fades though down the stretch, Parker in his fitness, and then we've got the juggernaut that doesn't fade, granite chin, keeps punching, strong as fucking shit, takes a punch. Hey, what the fuck can we say? I don't know. It's going to be a hard motherfucking fight. He better use his feet, that's all I know.
Last question. Obviously, the fight that everyone's been talking about is Tyson Fury and Usyk meeting down the stretch. Do you feel that a good big un beats a good small un?
Absolutely, absolutely. I feel like Tyson should really clean the floor with Usyk. Remember, he can box up or awful. All he's got to do is use his jab, feint, step off. It's going to make it tricky for Usyk to come in and get them scoring points what he like, because he uses his feet. You must use your feet. That is what boxing is for. Feet, guys, not standing there waiting to get hit. It's dangerous. So you got to be mindful. But he does it good. He touches with his jab, steps off here, does his little man. You get me? The Fury thing. I give you a little inside, guys. I don't want no more, but you're gonna beat that boy. We need the titles back here.
Dean, I've kept you for long enough. Thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.